I'm trying to explore several issues, some of which present taboo questions in our society. Topics such as faith, religion, and supernatural powers will be thoroughly discussed and analyzed from various perspectives. To believe or not to believe, that is the question. I hope you don't mind if we start our show with the most obscure topic, the witchcraft. The witchcraft broadly means the practice and belief in magical skills, which are used or abused by individuals or certain social groups. How many people still believe in witchcraft? Do people nowadays believe in God? Is religion on decline? Answers to these questions we will see from our guests. I'm glad that I may present people who will help us decipher all these mysterious and intricate issues. Let me introduce the witch, Mrs. Maleficent. A victim of the witchcraft. Versus Johnny. Believer and non-believer, Faith and Lucy. The priest, Tom. The famous theologist, Hope. Louis, the atheist. And you all know Rose, the famous etymologist. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, my dear guests. I would like you to feel as comfortable and cozy as possible. Mrs. Maleficent, we will start from you. Could you tell us more about the witchcraft? How did you get into it?
I grew up in Seattle and got really into witchcraft when I was in the middle school. My family has had a remarkable tradition over centuries, so those things were familiar to me. Since I was a child, I knew that someday I would become a witch and continue that tradition.
Could you tell us more about the power of magic?
I would define magic as the purest form of love, joy, and sharing. Everything that opens just enough so we get kind of zapped by it. It was called magic.
Interesting. I've always associated magic as dark and evil powers. I assume that there are numerous ways to make a spell. What's the most popular one?
Divination with tarot cards. People want to know what's going to happen. The second most popular is love spell. People want to know what's going to happen. They're hurt, or they've been through a breakup, or they just don't want to be alone.
I tried some love spell. Once, because of the young age and foolishness, I made a light love spell for a married guy. Up until now, I regret it. You know, maybe it was not because of the love spell and the sad fate of that family, which might have been predetermined already as well as mine. But I'm tortured by the thought, what if it was my fault? In my heart, I will always feel guilty because I did.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. I will come back to you. Mrs. Maleficent, please continue. Could you describe us ways in which you practice witchcraft?
You use your own spell, your own ritual. Some people use herbs, some candles, some practice meditation or mantras. But, most of all, I prefer to use my crystal ball. I can visualize almost everything through it.
Thank you, Mrs. Maleficent. Now, Emily, could you tell us more about your experience? Have you tried something else?
Yes, one day a witch from my neighborhood tried to hypnotize me. For whatever reason, that witch or demon didn't disturb me for some time. But between 2000 and 2003, they were after me every single night. Sometimes several times before morning, and I thought for sure that eventually I'd wake up once just in time to die for real. The distance between what hypnosis felt like most times and actual death felt to be about 3 or 4 heartbeats. and one terrifyingly labored bread. That was really terrible experience. I don't want to remember it.
Thank you, Adelaide. Okay. Let's see one example of the witchcraft. A knowledgeable man being seduced by the devil.
I go, accursed spirit, to ugly hell. This dog has then distressed Faustus' soul. It's not too late.
Too late.
Never too late, fathers.
Go repent, devil shall tear thee in pieces.
Repent, and they shall never raise us.
Ah, Christ, my Savior, seek to save distressed Faustus' soul.
Christ cannot save thy soul, for he is just. There is none, but I have interest in the same.
Oh, what though that looks so terrible.
I'm Lucifer, and this is my companion, Prince in Hell.
Oh, Faustus, we have come to fetch away thy soul.
We come to tell thee thou dost injure us. Thou talkst of Christ contrary to thy promise. You should not think of the God, think of the devil, and of his damned too.
Lord, we like this one. Pardon me this. Faustus vows never to look to heaven, never to name a God or pray to him, to burn his scriptures, slay his ministers, and make my spirits move his churches down.
Do so, and we will highly gratify thee. Faustus, we are come from hell to show thee some pastime. Sit down, and thou shalt see all the seven deadly sins appear in their proper shapes.
That sight will be as pleasing unto me as paradise was to Adam the first day of his creation.
Talk not of paradise nor creation, but mark this show. Think of the devil and nothing else. Come away.
Who art thou? First.
I'm pride, and disdain to have any parents. I like to always flee. I can creep into every corner of a woman, sometimes like a mirror. I sit upon her brow, or like a fan of feathers. I kiss her lips, indeed I do. What do I know? But why? What a scent is here! I'll not speak another word except the ground of perfume and covered with cloth of feathers.
Welcome to our program again. And now we're going to talk about the different levels of demonic activity. We will start with our guest, an expert of exorcism. Mr. John, how did you first hear about the ministry of exorcism and decide to pursue it?
The ministry sought me out. The first priest who was asked by the bishop to take on this role happened to be my priest support group, and we thought he was a superb candidate for it. But a month later, he came back and said he had declined, and for whatever reason, I believe it was a providence. I piped it up and said, I can do that. I can be an exorcist. So I was getting ready to go on sabbatical as it was, and the Bishop McGrath said, there's a course you can take in Rome, and the rest is in the book. The grace of being in Rome was that I found a priest who does a lot of exorcism, and I had time. I had the time to pray, read, explore, and time to spend with Frau Karen. So I was out 3 days a week in the afternoons for 3.5 months. All mentally. I could not do what I'm doing right now without some kind of training, observation, discernment that I get when I was in Rome.
And what about Satan? Can Satan read your thoughts?
Satan can have some sense, I think, of our thoughts or our feelings. But one is for sure, Satan doesn't know as well as we know ourselves. He can predict the future.
Thank you, Mr. John. And now it's time to discuss our next topic, the relation of religion and beliefs which prevail in our country. Our guest, Rose and Hope, will help us enlighten these ancient secrets. Mrs. Rose, could you tell us how we celebrate Slava and other religious ceremonies in our country?
Yes, Slava is an ancient Serbian Orthodox tradition in which, alongside special rituals and the feast, the Christian saint, the protector of the family, is honored, and his day celebrated in accordance with the church calendar. The basic Slava with family, friends, and festivities. Various meals are prepared, and a holiday atmosphere fills the home.
Can you tell me something about Christmas?
Yes. For Christmas, the Nativity fast begins 40 days before Christmas Day and has two aspects, spiritual and physical. The spiritual aspect of fasting is the abstinence from evil thoughts and deeds. The physical aspect entails the complete avoidance of fatty foods, which are all animal-sourced products, meat, milk, dairy products, and eggs. But fish may be eaten on certain days.
Thank you, Mrs. Rose. Mrs. Hope, who and what influenced you to become theologist?
Well, my uncle was a priest. I spent all my time with him and listened to every one of his services. Didn't take long when I realized that I got dragged into it, and it felt like I belonged just there.
Is a woman allowed to be priest or preacher?
That's a good question. That's a good question. There is perhaps no more debated issue in church today than the issue of whether women serving as pastors or preachers. It's important not to see this issue as men versus women, because there are women who believe women should not serve as preachers and that the Bible puts restrictions on women in ministry. And there are men who believe women can serve as preachers and that there are no restrictions on women in ministry. This is not an issue of chauvinism or discrimination. This is an issue of biblical interpretation.
Thank you, Mrs. Rose. Dear guests, we will be back soon. You've just heard the opinions of acknowledged experts, and now it's time to see what common people think about religion. Faith and Lucy are with us in the program, so we will start with Faith. Faith, do we always turn to God or we just call His name when we are desperate?
Yes, we inevitably turn to God, for this religious sentiment is, of its nature, so pure, so delightful to the soul that experiences it, that it makes up to us for all other losses. One of the numerous things in heaven and earth that these philosophers can dream about was this, us, the modern world. You can only be independent of God while you got youth and prosperity. Independence won't take you safe to the end.
And Lucy, what do you think about this?
Well, we've now got youth and prosperity right up to the end. What follows? Evidently that we can be independent of God. The religious sentiment will compensate us for all our losses. But there aren't any losses for us to compensate. Religious sentiment is superfluous. And why should we go hunting for a substitute for youthful desires when youthful desires never fail? Then you think there is no God? No, I think there quite probably is one. Then why? He manifests himself in different ways to different men. In pre-modern times he manifested himself as these beings described in books.
How does he manifest himself now?
Well, he manifests himself as an absence, as though he weren't there at
That's
all.
your fault.
Call it the fault of civilization. You must make your own choice. Our civilization has chosen machinery, medicine, and happiness. But all the same, it is natural to believe in God when you're alone. Quite alone in the night thinking about death. But people are never alone now. They arrange their lives, so it's almost impossible for them ever to have it. The gods are just, no doubt, but their code of law is dictated by the people in the last resort who organize society. Providence takes its cue from man. Are you sure? The gods are just. Haven't they used his pleasant vices as an instrument to degrade him? To degrade him from what position? As a happy, hard-working, good consuming citizen. He's perfect. If you allowed yourself to think of God, you wouldn't allow yourself to be degraded by pleasant vices. You'd have a reason for bearing things patiently, for doing things with courage. I've seen it with Indians. I'm sure you have, but we aren't Indians. There is no need for a civilized man to bear anything seriously unpleasant. What about self-denial then? If you had a God, you'd have a reason for self-denial. But modern civilization is only possible where there is no self-denial. Self-indulgence up to the very limits, imposed by hygiene and economics. Otherwise, the wheel stop turning. You'd have a reason for chastity. Chastity means passion. But God's the reason for everything noble and fine and heroic. If you had a God, my dear young friend, modern civilization has no need of nobility and heroism. These things are symptoms of political inefficiency. Where there are wars, where there are divided allegiances, temptations to be resisted, objects of love to be fought for or defended. There, nobility and heroism have some sense. But there aren't any wars nowadays. The greatest care is taken to prevent you from loving anyone too much.
We have seen the opposite sides of the coin. If there were no wars, poverty, and misery, would we still need a God? Here with us is Luis. He is an atheist. Luis, can you tell us something about how and why you decided to become an atheist?
Well, becoming an atheist isn't something that happened overnight. I was in my early 20s when I started questioning things. I remember, at first it was completely innocent. I just wanted to learn more about my religion. But the more I learned, the more it made no sense. The deeper I dug, the more I felt as if they lied to me. I just couldn't accept the things my innocent mind once took for granted, only because I was taught by the people I trusted.
What do you think? Why do so many people still believe in God?
Humanity created gods.
Excuse me, gods created humanity.
Don't interrupt me. Humanity created gods. From the so-called pagan gods to the gods most people believe in today. We created gods because there were times when we felt scared and alone, when we grieved and felt old, and wondered if there had been answers to the questions we so desperately wanted. But most of all, there were times when people wanted to control other people. And in all those things, the creation of gods was most useful.
Thank you, Mr. Luis. Now a question for priest Tom. You have mentioned that the God is creator of humanity. How long have you been a part of the Catholic Church, and why did you decide to become a priest?
I've been a priest for 40 years. When I was a young boy, I thought about becoming a priest, but then I pursued my high school career and then I went to college. It was after college and a year or two of working that the idea was still with me, so I pursued it. I joined the diocese out there for about 30-something years, and then, during that time, I spent 10 years in Latin America.
How has being a priest and helping other people had a significant impact on your life?
Both out west and in South America, I received much more from people than I feel I gave them. It was just a tremendous witness, especially in South America, and the people that I worked with. Other poor people who are very knowledgeable and deep in their faith. The presence of God was so alive in their lives, and I witnessed that. They would say, "Thank you, Father, for this, that, and the other," but I would often think, "Thank you for helping me, because you are strengthening my faith." It's an awareness.
If you could give one piece of advice to a large group of people, what would it be?
Well, it would be to forgive anybody who caused you any kind of pain or problems, especially within the family. I think a lot of people hold grudges against family members, and then the resentment builds up, and that leads to unhealthy attitudes. The people you don't forgive have control over you. You're holding that resentment, you're holding that bitterness, and in fact you're being controlled by that person, and whatever the situation may be. In Gospel, Jesus says, let the good wheat and the bad wheat grow together, because maybe the bad wheat will change. God gives us time.
Amen, brother. It's up to you to believe or not to believe. Thank you for being with us. I hope we provided you with the insights into some mysterious issues.
Wingardium Leviosa!
And the life? What about life?
All I
prodekan, odnosno dekan Prirodno-matematičkog fakulteta, profesor dr. Nebojša Žilić sa nama, svim kolegama, što ste došli da budete ovde sa nama, da vidite šta naši studenti rade, naravno uz pomoć svojih nastavnika. U ovom slučaju, kao i u prethodnim slučajima, odnosno godinama, da tako kažem, koje su za nama, koleginica Danijela Kulić zaista vešto vodi studente. To jesu njihovi ispiti, odnosno ispit, međutim, studenti se toliko daju i drago mi je što se tradicija nastavlja, što ste i ove godine pokazali da umete i možete i hoćete, ono što je bitno. I zaista ovo jedno veče, obično, da tako kažem, ulepšali ste, nadam se, svima ovde prisutnima, meni naravno i svakako da jeste. Hvala vam još jednom.